Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of How's It Burn. My name is Jen and I'm the artist behind North Star Pyrography, and this week I'm going to show you what it's like to burn on ash wood. Ash is a very beautiful wood and it's got some really nice bark that can add character to any piece. It does have a couple of setbacks, but I will go over that as I burn. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so here we have our ash wood. And here you can see the grain up a little bit more closer, how porous it can be. So these darker areas are a lot softer than the rest of the wood. So you gotta take that into consideration when burning over it. I will start here with my spear shader and just show you how the straight lines with it work. It's relatively smooth for the straight lines. And as you get over to the darker grain, it's a lot softer, so it burns faster. Here I have my teardrop shader. I do find that ash wood you can shade quite evenly. Oops. So here you can definitely see the grain where it got darker as I shaded. Here I have my flat, small, round shader. Using this to shade, you can really see how the grain darkens up with it. If your project requires a lot of shading, just take into account the grain, how it might darken up a little bit as you shade it, just in case it might affect your image in any way. So here's going over one of the large soft grains. I have done animals on the ash wood before, and the fur's not too bad. You can get some nice texture on here using your pens when they're on high heat. So this is just a writing point that I use for outlining and some shading and whatnot that I have made myself for my razor tip. This is the pen I find you'll get that waxiness the most, that you'll notice it the most. And it can give you unwanted texture, which sometimes is not very pleasing. You can kind of see it when I do my swirls. It's almost like I'm pushing around like an oil on the wood, and I can't seem to get a much deeper of a burn this way. But with this pen, you can also get fairly smooth lines. Again, like here I hit that grain, that softer grain, so my pen went down a little bit more than I would have liked it to. But if I turn my heat down, I can get it a lot more even. Let's see if I can get this a little bit darker here. I've got my pen all the way up now. So you can kind of see, if I tilt it towards the light, how it almost looks like dirty, like it's got a layer of dirt caked on it. That's the waxiness that I'm trying to explain. I just switched back to my round shader. I just wanted to show that you can still get dark burns, but I find using the shaders, you get the darker burn. You don't seem to get that waxy look at all that you did up here. There. So I can tilt it there in the light and you can see you don't get that dirtiness when you use a flat shader. And to do stippling, because this wood's a little bit harder, stippling does take a little bit longer. Okay, I'll just flip it over onto the back. This is one that I did earlier to show. So here's the shading that I did. Again, you can get a fairly even shade. The stippling looks amazing. You can get different texture. That oiliness, you can definitely use it to your advantage. It does the smooth lines, you got the fur and stuff. And I did clear coat this area. It ddid change the wood a little bit, but it did take away some of the detail in the shading.